I am standing on the back deck of the rental cabin in the Adirondack foothills, the pine needles still wet from the afternoon rain. My husband, Devlin, is crouched beside the fire pit, stacking birch logs into a careful teepee. The smell of sap and smoke drifts up toward the darkening sky, and I am holding my phone like a weapon, scrolling through the group chat from dinner. Devlin has been quiet since we left his mother's house 3 hours ago, and I have been talking enough for both of us. I type a message into the chat. Anyone else notice Devlin's mom's place smells like cat pee and broken dreams? I hit send before the second drink finishes burning down my throat. The cabin porch light flickers. I laugh out loud at my own wit. Behind me, the screen door creaks. Devlin steps onto the deck. His shoulders are stiff, his jaw tight. He does not look at me when he speaks. What did you just type? His voice is low, almost a growl. I shrug, still staring at the screen. It was a joke. Everyone was roasting each other. Chill. He walks past me down the wooden steps and stands in the yard under the single floodlight. I follow, the gravel cold through my socks. The fire pit is lit now, orange flames licking the bark. Our friends inside the cabin have gone silent. I can feel them watching through the wide window. Devlin turns. The light catches the silver in his beard. My mother scrubbed that house top to bottom for 3 days before you showed up. She borrowed money to have the carpets cleaned. You walked in, sniffed once, and made a face. Then you tell a dozen people it smells like cat pee. You think that is funny? I roll my eyes. It does smell. I am not lying. He nods slowly, as if confirming something to himself. Right. He walks away from the fire pit toward the gravel driveway. I follow, indignant. Where are you going? He opens the passenger door of his truck. Inside. Pack your stuff. I laugh again, but the sound is thin. You are kicking me out. I am driving you to your sister's. His voice is flat. Tonight. I stand there in the cold, barefoot, arms crossed. The fire crackles behind me like a taunt. I think he will cool off. He always does. Back inside the cabin, I toss my duffel onto the bed. Devlin stands in the doorway, arms folded, watching me shove clothes into the bag. My movements are jerky, theatrical. I mutter, this is insane. He says nothing. I drive the 2 hours back to the city in the passenger seat of his Tacoma, the highway lights strobing across the windshield. We do not speak. Every mile the silence grows heavier. I scroll through the group chat again. No one has replied to my cat pee comment. I type, guess Devlin lost his sense of humor. I delete it without sending. When we pull up to my sister's townhouse in the suburbs, it is past midnight. She meets us at the door in pajamas and a look of confusion. Devlin hands me my bag. His eyes are hard. I say, this is dramatic. He says, goodbye, Mara. He drives away without another word. The next morning, I sit on my sister's couch drinking coffee from a chipped mug that says world's okayest aunt. I call Devlin. It goes to voicemail. I text, can we talk? No reply. I tell my sister he overreacted. One comment and he acts like I burned the house down. She raises an eyebrow. You humiliated his mom in front of everyone. He was already stressed about her health. You knew that. I wave a hand. She has a sinus infection, not cancer. My sister looks away. I feel a flicker of something, but I crush it. Days turn into a week. Devlin changes the locks on the apartment we shared above the bookstore on Cayuga Street. I find out when my key no longer works. I stand on the sidewalk, bag slung over my shoulder, staring at the dark green door. A neighbor walks past with her dog and does not meet my eyes. I call Devlin again. This time he answers. I need my clothes. I boxed them. You can pick them up Saturday morning. Can we please talk? He exhales. I have said everything I need to say. I drive to the bookstore Saturday. He has set 3 cardboard boxes on the curb. My name is written on the top in black Sharpie. He is not there. I take the boxes to my sister's garage. I sit on the concrete floor between my winter coats and my vinyl collection, and I think this is temporary. He will miss me. He always does. But he does not call. He does not text. 2 weeks later, I see a photo on Instagram, Devlin and his mother at the farmer's market, her arm linked through his. She is smiling. He is looking down at her with something soft in his eyes. I feel a stab I cannot name. I show up at the bookstore at closing time. Devlin is locking up. The street lamp casts long shadows across the sidewalk. I say, I miss you. He leans against the door, arms crossed. I miss who I thought you were. I was joking, Dev. You know how I am. He shakes his head. You were cruel. And when I told you it hurt, you doubled down. That is not a joke. That is a pattern I swallow. I can change. He looks past me down the empty street. I am not waiting to find out. I start therapy. I tell the therapist he is overreacting. She asks, what would it cost you to admit you were wrong? I do not answer. My friends, the same ones from the cabin, stop inviting me to gatherings. I see them in stories, online picnics at the gorge, trivia nights at the speakeasy. Devlin is in the photos, laughing with his arm around someone new. A woman with kind eyes and paint on her hands. I zoom in on her face and feel something close to panic. One night I drive past the apartment. The windows are lit, curtains open. I see Devlin and the woman dancing in the living room, slow and close. The record player spins. I watch from the street like a ghost. I call my mother. She says, "You made your bed, Mara." I sit in my sister's guest room, staring at the ceiling. I think I lost him, not because of one comment, but because of 100 small cuts, because I never said sorry like I meant it, because I thought love meant he would always stay. Devlin lists the apartment for sale. I see the listing online. The photos show new paint, new rugs, no trace of me. The caption reads, "Fresh start." I attend the open house out of some masochistic impulse. The woman with paint on her hands greets me at the door. She smiles politely, offers a flyer. Devlin is in the back bedroom, talking to a couple about square footage. He sees me and nods once, civil, distant. I leave without a word. 6 months later, I am living alone in a studio above the laundromat on State Street. The radiator clangs at night. I have no furniture except a mattress and a folding chair. I wake up each morning to the smell of detergent drifting through the floorboards. I write a letter. I tell Devlin I was wrong. I tell him I understand now what it feels like to be laughed at, to be dismissed. I tell him I am sorry, truly, for the first time. I do not ask for anything back. I mail it. I do not expect a reply. Weeks later, I receive a postcard, a photo of the Pacific coast at sunset. On the back, in his handwriting, "I forgive you. But I do not forget. Be well." I sit on the fire escape of my building, the city buzzing below me, and I hold the postcard like it is made of glass. I think this is what regret tastes like. Sharp, final, earned. The sun sets behind the water tower. I stay there until the sky turns the color of burnt copper, and for the first time in a year I do not look away.